All right, so let's do a quick short one. For the most part, I agree with Pastor K. But let me see what he said here, because one of his stuff is going viral. Why should you do your due diligence before dating a single 40-year-old man? All right. I've said something here before I read it. I haven't read it. I just see the title. But I think I see something of that nature somewhere. And I think I might have commented on this post. I just don't remember now. I said something here a while back, months ago. Okay. And I've said some things they are very easy to take an offense to, right? Especially if you're listening with your emotions. But just bear with me, okay? If you take an offense to something, it's not necessarily a bad thing, okay? It just shows that you're a human being, right? One of the things I said is that a 40-year-old man never been married, especially no kids, it's a walking red flag. All right. We do have a book coming out December 30. It's number one red flag. But no, he's not the number one red flag. I'm just saying that's a walking red flag. Red flag is not exactly a stop. It's more like a slowdown. Maybe we should start using yellow flags. Okay, like slow down, wait. Why? Just something that you should ask questions around, right? Not direct questions, not close-ended questions, open-ended questions, just out of curiosity. You never been married? How come? They're 40. They're not that surprised that you're asking that question, okay? They're not that surprised, trust me. And if they're taking an offense to that, that is the problem. That is the problem. If you're on a date with them and say, you never been married? How come? And they take an offense to that and you can see they're getting red, that's probably the problem right there, okay? But red flag, it just means something you should slow down, get to know this person a little bit more, and or they need coaching, or they need counsel, or you guys need counseling together if you're serious, right? Some things that needs to be addressed, okay? So I guess Pastor K is speaking to that because the title is quite giving. Why you should do your due diligence before dating a single 40-year-old man. So already the title will be more like never be married, not necessarily single. People could be single for the last 2 years, right? They also need to do the work because nobody collects breakfast and goes scot-free. They have trauma, they have healings that needs to happen, right? So, and nobody dish breakfast either that goes scot-free. It's both. And even the children go collect. Anyway, so they need some kind of healing, some level of healing, right? So, I could see here my G, Chichi here is already saying no need for crazy comments. I guess they went in on him. I don't know. I'm seeing it for the first time, okay? I saw the headline, I added it to myself. So, surprise, surprise, let's see what he said. Pastor K said if a guy is in his 40s and not married, there's usually a reason. There is a reason. Where's the surprise? Right? He didn't even say red flag. I said red flag, offensive. Shut your mouth. Okay, it's not red flag, it's reason. It's more like there's a reason, right? There's a reason. Especially when he's particularly trying to date ladies 10 years plus younger. They are dragging alpha bills here. What's going on here, Pastor K? Wait, yes, I know it might not be so all the time. Okay, he said not all the time. But you know what? It doesn't matter if he says so all the time. When they can relate. Oh my God, anyway. But it is so a lot of the time. A lot is a lot. A lot is not majority. It's still minority, but it's a lot. A lot that you can run into them and you find yourself in, I'm not demonizing them, but if you are about to date someone like this, please do your due diligence. Okay? They're just trying you to watch out. What did he say anything that's offensive now? Oh God. Is there anything that he said that's offensive right now? What happened? Indomie generation. What happened? The anointing of Samson is different from Joseph's anointing. Don't sleep over. Please. Wahala. I agree with this one. Any African woman knows a 40-year-old African man is a red flag. Wait. You're even saying man. Single man or never been married? Which one? Are you saying all men? Because I'm over 40. So fix that, Marriott. What are you trying to say exactly? Abi, you mean what you said? Full chest. geez, I don't see it. I don't see what but maybe they'll tell us in the comments, right? Or it looks like they're dragging, because I can see this is one of my friends, Chichi, is saying, no need for crazy comments. I agree with this one. Wahala. Let's see. What he's trying to say, just do your due diligence. Don't let them tell you it's because they've not found the one. All right. Now, let me add on to this. If the person has had kids before and they just never been married, I'm a little bit easier on them. It's probably, that's more circumstantial, right? But never had kids, never been married, that could be circumstantial too. But there is a reason. There is right. A reason is not a crime. It's not a curse. It's not. But if you can admit that there's a reason, that is the reason. Are you missing the point? Wait, how can I explain that better? Some people often hide bad character behind "I've not met the right person." Yeah, it's BS, and it happens on both sides. By the way, it happens on both sides. But what they often mean is, "I've not found someone who would tolerate my behavior." Right? That is very common. Such people are unwilling to learn. A lot of them are coconut heads. Like, for example, if you said there's a reason, say, "What do you mean there's a reason?" Is there another word for reason? There's a reason, right? Even if the reason is, I don't know, like, even if the reason is circumstantial, there's a reason. You're taking an offense because something is hitting a nerve. Anyway, they just want someone who will conform to their way of doing things. It doesn't have to be something that they're doing that they mean to harm anybody or intend to harm anybody, but there's a reason. There's just some conduct that don't work well when you're trying to do romantic relationship with people for a long time. Okay, some of them might even be able to attract a lot of girls. They can attract lots and lots of women. They just don't. There's something about them that can't. This women just keep living. Something keeps happening. There's a reason, right? And at least be willing to ask what could be the reason. Have a conversation with someone, a professional, that say, maybe that, maybe that, maybe that. I guarantee you it's not because you're a bad guy. I almost, because I don't know you like that. I almost guarantee it's because you're a bad guy. It has nothing to do with that. That's why you're taking an offense, because you think when they say that, they're saying it must be because you're a bad guy. No, it has nothing. It's not relevant. It has everything to do with skills. A game. Yeah, that word, game. Yep. You just don't know what you don't know, right? And it's even hard and even worse when you're arguing that, no, there is no such thing as knowing something. There's no such thing as game. Like, wait, what do you mean? There's no such thing as skills. Which one are you saying? You're confusing yourself. There is, like, anything where there's 8 billion people and there's a marketplace and people are competing, right? You better know what you're doing. Right? It just makes sense, right? It makes sense in your job, right? You're a 6-figure earner. It makes sense, right? In romantic relationships too, it's the same thing, right? This person said those men will be fine for some ladies. Empathizer. One day, those men will be fine for some ladies who are able to swallow their behavior. And the point, he's making a good point still. He's saying, you lady, you might not know that you're not able to handle the behavior until 8 years later. That's the person that Pastor K is talking to. There's some behavior that you think you can handle. About 7 years into the situation, you're like, ouch, I think I want out. Yeah. I'm sorry, I think. And then they will run around the internet dragging you, saying, I'm a good guy. I've never cheated. And then he will never figure it out, because he's like, you're just evil. You just woke up one day and you said you're no longer in love with me, right? And Pastor K spoke that time 14 years ago. You were like, well, somebody belong with that man, right? So you never gave him a chance to actually learn. When we say this kind of things, it's actually an opportunity to learn. There is, you've connected with the results we're talking about. There's a result you're creating and you don't like it. If you liked it, you wouldn't be able to comprehend what I'm saying, because you won't be able to relate. You don't like that result, right? And because you don't like that result, you connect with what Pastor K is saying, and it's time to learn something new. Just like anywhere else in life. It's just that we're all disrespectful to romantic relationships and marriage in particular. So we think we just wing things along, and then we say things like, oh, there's somebody for that person. It's a lie. There's some people they will marry and that person does not belong to them. Right? So they will end up losing that person. Right? What does that look like? Well, they're just leaving. They don't want to stay in marriage anymore. Not necessarily. Can we talk about the specifics of that story? Right? There are some like that. They want to go and find something better outside. There are some like that. Right? Majority of these cases is lack of skills. People don't know what they're doing. I will keep saying it. Okay? I'll keep saying it. So especially if care is not taken, they can use their acclaimed maturity to mess up your mental well-being. Okay. So this person actually agreeing. I'm seeing people agreeing. I will keep saying it. A man that's still single at 40 is actually the problem. Voila. Are they dragging people? So it's I don't want to do it in a way. I don't want to say it in a way that these people will now start to feel like something is wrong with them. There's what Pastor K said is that there's a reason. And that's more accurate. There's something going on that needs to be assessed. That's more accurate than saying they're evil or they are, or the language that Solomon Bucci used earlier, Alpha Malu or whatever. No, it's none of that. We don't need to be offensive to any group of people, but there is a reason. There's a reason. Let me come to the chat. But our party said, Ola, I disagree with you. Not in all cases. Just do your due diligence. Patrick, but it's original. Most likely, you probably agree with me now already. A single 40-plus African man. Okay, she corrected it. My ex's excuse was all the ladies he met were AS, sickle cell carrier. That is interesting. All of them. Just all of them. Where is he hanging out? That's interesting. Your ex was A++ bionic man. Yeah. Investigate well because the results could be 1, gay. 2, hasn't found someone to control. 3, he's so god awful no other African woman wants him. 4, the small minority that are unlucky in love. Yeah, I guess luck is part of the formula too, right? But wouldn't it be? It will be. Yeah, you're actually correct. I agree with you, Marriott, and plus 4,000 other reasons, right? So we can't generalize. But it's better to ask someone. Don't just assume there's nothing wrong with me. I already agree that there's nothing wrong with you. However, something is wrong. Not necessarily with you, right? And it's time to ask a question. Just ask. Just be open. Be open-minded and ask a question. Maybe I can learn something. Not something is wrong with you. Maybe I can learn 1 or 2 or, because let me tell you something. A 40-year-old man, never been married, single. If you learn what you're supposed to learn, that's actually prime. That's prime time, right? The problem is that you probably keep attracting a lot of them and then they smell it like, oh, no, I can't deal. It's controlling. He doesn't realize it. He's like, what do you mean controlling? That's what's wrong with this woman. There's no wife out here anymore. Like, Baba, they're doing wedding all the time. Or no, those people just want wedding because they want wedding. You are capping. Okay? That's personal. That's projection. Yeah, so there's more. There's more definitely to it. It has nothing to do with something is wrong with you. Okay? It might be, but it doesn't have to be. Probably it's something you're missing. It's in the blind spot, but talk to someone. And Pastor K is absolutely not wrong in this case. I'm sure somebody is gonna drag him. So who should women, somebody's asking question. Somebody said, who should women above 35 single date? Jam question. Jesus Christ. I don't think most of you ever think before you talk. Hey, see how Pastor K just collect. There's nothing wrong with a person single at 40. You see what I just said? This person is using common sense, obviously. And there's nothing wrong with common sense, by the way. He just lacks a lot when it comes to these issues, right? Pastor K is a person who wakes up and breathes relationship talk all the time, meaning he's probably readjusted recourse many times over the years in terms of these ideologies, right? Unlike Solomon Bucci, who is still doing that, which is okay. It's okay to go through the journey, right? There's nothing wrong with the person single at 40 and above. He never said anything is wrong with them. Comprehension. Marriage is not a factory setting. You see? This is that. Marriage is not even for everyone. The next sentence. Right? It's not a factory setting. There are factory settings. That's why he wrote, I don't know how many books. That's why we're writing books. There are settings that tend to work across the board. They tend to work. Okay, that's English too. Tend to work across the board. Right? Life happens to people. Yeah, no. Imagine something happened to Pastor K's marriage and I said, you see, we told you. You thought you figured it out, Abby. If it's not okay to shame unmarried people at 40, sensitive, confused generation. Anyway, it is not okay to shame unmarried men either. Okay, so this is a person that's projecting. Somebody is projecting, right? This is a woman. They weren't talking to her, but she's made it her own, right? What did she say? She said, it's not okay to shame unmarried women at 40, right? It's not okay to shame unmarried men either. By the way, I agree with that. The disconnect here is that what Pastor K said is not shaming. And he's talking to some specific people, right? There is no age for an ineligible man. There are age. Age is not your mate. Okay? A 5-year-old girl tends to be a 5-year-old girl. Oh, it's extreme. No, let me go further a little bit. A 17-year-old girl, they tend to act a certain way. Okay? And if you are a 37-year-old woman and you act that way, you can't shame me for looking at you funny. You can't. That part. You cannot shame me for looking at you sideways if you're a 37-year-old woman acting like 17. These churches make me tired of Christianity, always looking for who to cause depression. Pastor K is talking about relationships, not talking about Christianity. They can't hold themselves. Always looking for who to cause depression. Depression. Who is talking? You will go to church, nothing about hope or love of God, only who to cause pain and money. I think that says this is why Pastor K is talking. Okay. The person that's talking is a red flag. Shout out to her. Okay. Shout out to that person. The one who dated before me, I found out wasn't AS. The one wasn't using the disease gunner simple. That's crazy. People will say anything for anything. He said there's a reason, not necessarily that anything is wrong, oh God. This person is a woman. This is how emotions work. It doesn't even have to be the same gender. If you can relate, it just, all sense of comprehension will just disappear right out the window. Right? But this is how it works. It's okay. That's why you have to have more than enough grace for yourself, for other people around you, because even your loved ones are going to do these things. Just and just be okay with it. But some people, if they don't hit rock bottom, they will not learn. They won't learn anything new. All right. So rock bottom for a person could be at 80. You know what? If I knew, I would have listened. I would have, listened to what Pastor K was saying once upon a time. Yeah. A lot of opinions. Nobody is actually understanding that if I wake up and I talk about relationships all the time, in addition to my natural gift, in addition to my natural inclination to be curious, in addition to my ability to say, you know what? I didn't see that part. I was wrong, right? That's an ability. That's not something that's easy to do, right? There's a good chance I probably know about this stuff more than you. That's just saying. Especially if you're 40, single, and you're coconut head and you're not willing to listen. There's a good chance I probably know something, right? But it is what it is. So let me see. I think there's one more thing we want to cover before we continue into the main reaction that we want to do today. I will be right back.
Beautiful girl, spoiling everything. I find a beautiful girl. It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.